9 FM, the voice of truth. I am Talk Morgan. And still, my guest in the studio is God Peter Shamaki. 17 minutes past top of the hour, 9 o'clock. Remember, you can always be a part of this conversation on the number 08103904737. 08103904737, or you drop your comment on 08061665120. COVID 19, like you said, has exposed the gaps in governance or what is happening in the country. And many are of the opinion that governance should not be abandoned for the fight against COVID 19, while others are of the opinion that government should focus on fighting COVID 19 to the latter before they return to what is called governance. And now I want to know your take on this. And so far, what have you noticed? Are we having a departure from governance to the fight on COVID 19, or we're having the two moving together?
Well, first, I'm quick to say that the universe worked in our favor, or is still working in our favor. From the federal, state to the local government, government did not do anything extraordinary to fight COVID-19. You can check the records for yourself. And so God has been faithful, and God is still faithful, and God is in the business of protecting all of us.
Okay.
When you look at more advanced society, where they have top-notch medical facilities, doctors, researchers, and every other thing, from America, from US to Italy to Germany, France, and other places. And when you compare the number of deaths and incidents of COVID-19 to what we have in Africa and Nigeria in particular, you realize that it's not anything that our leaders have done that is keeping us alive. Basically, it's because God has shown us mercy, and basically because our environment is working for us, and probably because our immune system is working for us, or we don't even have proper records to document what's happening around us. Having said that, it is going to be a total disaster to put all of our eggs in one basket. Now, if COVID-19 continue for another 3 years, which means by then it's going to be the end of this government, are we going to say that we keep fighting COVID till the coming of Christ? We need to be creative. We need to adopt and adjust the situation and see how can we live and run our life with this. And which is why some of us had advocated long before now that while we think of lockdown, shutdown, or we think of everything, we need to equally come back to the drawing board and sit there like, look, if this situation continue or persists for another 6 months, how do we live our lives with? And so I'm excited that at the earliest stage of COVID-19, the Kaduna state government came on air and like, look, while you're on break, this is a timetable for school pupils and secondary school students to keep learning and keep the system going. I'm happy later the Plateau State government and other government have adopted the same style. And so this is what we're saying, that in the midst of our crisis, we should be able to be more creative and innovative in how can we live with this and solve this problem. People need to go to farm, because if you don't eat, you die of hunger. We need to keep the economy running, because what will you use to buy medication to treat other illnesses? We need to keep family relationship going, because we need to be the support system for each other. And so what government need to do, and what government need to invest more resources in, is on creating awareness. Look, these are the symptoms of COVID-19. These are the long-term implications of COVID-19 on the community and people. What do you need to do as an individual to stay healthy and hearty? What do you need to do to stay alive? Now, what we've heard over the years, and I'm not a medical personnel, is that wash your hands, don't sneeze in public, use your elbow when you're sneezing, use sanitizer and all of this. We need to shift from that to start telling people that, look, you need to start eating healthy food. You need to ensure that your immune system are their best, so that your system can help fight COVID when you get infected, like the way people could resist malaria, HIV, AIDS, and other things. That you need to have a system within you that will be able to say, look, you have a strange visitor in you, but we're doing our best to keep you alive. And then people can now strike a balance with that and know what to do. Because if we don't start telling people that, and people get tired of washing their hands, people get tired of using sanitizer, people get tired of using face masks, and then people are not eating good food, or people are not exercising well, or people are just not living a healthy life, you miss the point. And so we need to strike a balance in such a way that the social, behavioral, and communication change strategy need to be at its best in terms of telling people why they need to be accountable for themselves. One of the reasons why the campaign against COVID-19 has not succeeded in certain local government or among certain community or people is because in the first instance, they don't want to believe it's real. But I want to let you know that COVID-19, the virus or bacteria, because there's debate whether it's a virus or bacteria,
yes,
is real. People are dying from it. We may not have a large number of people dying in this part of the world, but people are dying and people are suffering from it. And so we need to appeal to people to know that, look, if we're going to live with this, what's your responsibility? What's my responsibility? What's government role in ensuring that we have a safer community? And so when government sits and you keep playing adverts on radio and you don't interact more with the people via their religious leaders, traditional leaders, opinion leaders, or people they respect in their community to say, look, we need to fight this together as a people for all of us to live a better life. It won't work. Now, why will government say there's no interstate movement? And people are moving from one state to another. And people are moving from the north to the south and western part of the country. And the southerners are saying, no, you cannot move. And instead of northerners to say that, look, what exactly the issue, you're now beating the drums of war to say they need to move. But there's a presidential statement that said that, look, this interstate movement has been banned. Why are you not telling your people to stay back home? Why are the southern and the western not traveling down north in a truck? And if you are having a legitimate business, why are you hiding in a truck? Nobody's addressing that issue, but people are quick to express emotion. People are quick to get angry that why are you stopping our people from moving? And so all of these are challenges. Now, in instances of Plateau State, for example, and other states, the virus was imported, so to say, from other states to this place.
And this is an interstate.
And this is when there shouldn't have been interstate movement. And then some of us have argued severally, and I like saying this, that instead of choking people in the states, you need to invest more in your border and ensure that people don't sneak in either at night or morning or afternoon. And if people insist on coming, you take those measures that need to be taken against them. Do you want to isolate them? Do you want to quarantine them? What do you want to do? You need to state it specifically. But when we don't manage all of this, we keep chasing shadows, we're not making headway.
Do you think the security agencies on their own part have really helped the situation? Because you hear of situations that security agencies or security personnel compromise at the border point, and sometimes you hear of people being arrested at the old airport roundabout. Then you begin to think, these guys came all the way from Briom. They crossed, walked past or drove past several checkpoints. How did they get to Old Airport roundabout before they were arrested? Now, do you think the security agencies have really done well to help the state in curtailing the number of people coming to the state?
You see, when we want to say whether they've done well or not, the question we need to ask ourselves, were they properly motivated? Were they properly briefed? Are they properly empowered to do what they need to do?
So which one should come first, the briefing or the motivation?
The briefing, the motivation, and giving them a clear mandate ought to have come first. Okay, if you have probably 6 borders or entry into Plateau State, and you mount 3, 4, 5 policemen in those entry, and you have over 500 vehicles coming in, at one point or the other, they are going to get overwhelmed, they are going to get tired. And so, as an individual, I like striking a balance in my discussion. They have a role to play, but did you give them all that is needed for them to effectively and efficiently execute that responsibility? Having said that, as people that are committed, as people that have signed that this is the work I want to do, this is where this is my calling to add value to humanity. They needed not to wait for all of the motivation to do the needful. Because when you pretend and allow things to go wrong, you don't know at what point that issue is going to affect you or affect someone close to you. COVID-19 is not written on anybody's forehead. And so when you say because somebody has given you 10,000 or depending on how you're able to negotiate and allow the person pass, in that particular vehicle, somebody could sneeze and you become infected. In that particular car, the person will get to your neighborhood and you come back home in the evening and you're sick. And so what we need to do is a total attitudinal change. It's a total reorientation. That people don't need to wait for government to give them orders or instruction for them to do what they need to do to help their life. And I've asked people, how many times have you gone to the hospital and you saw road safety as an institution and mission because they failed to use seatbelt? So when you're told to use seatbelt, it's for your own good. You're not doing anybody any favor. When they say government say cut your grass or maintain your community to ensure you're healthy, it's for your own good first. You're not doing government any favor because you don't go to any of your hospital and find government on admission. But having said that, government need to ensure full implementation of laws that are made. The government have a duty to protect the weak ones among us. Government have a responsibility to ensure that everybody feels safe, whether you're rich or poor. And so this is the gap that we have that we're struggling with.
All right. Now, talking about government enforcing and ensuring that citizens adhere to whatever guidelines they must have provided, the PTF recently just spoke about the review of their guidelines.
Yeah.
With the lockdown being eased, banks are going to resume. Some churches are going to resume with a limited number of people. Now, for the people on their own part, there has been this advocacy that allow us to continue our businesses. Let's take responsibility for our health. Let's see how we can care for ourselves in this particular pandemic. Now, do you see that possibility that citizens in Nigeria will take the responsibility and ensure that COVID 19 is fought even when everyone is allowed to continue with his business?
First, before I address that, I want to say in very clear terms that it's a very weak synergy between the federal and the state government in this fight of COVID 19.
Okay.
The president will issue a statement, a governor will counter it to issue another one. You can see the confusion in Kanu that the president said he's putting a 2 weeks lockdown. The governor came on air and said, look, the 2 weeks lockdown is too hard on my people. They need to go to mosques, they need to go to church, they need to go to the market. That's even at the height of COVID-19. In Plateau State here, you know how people get confused at times. The governor say we have a lockdown. The president say you can move between 8 and 6 p.m.
6
there.
p.m.
And then during the when the lockdown is lifted, or people are worried as where do we stand? And so the line of communication need to be very clear and direct. What plan do we have? What's the working relationship between the federal and the state? Having said that, I think you need to create massive awareness. The massive awareness is not all about lockdown. Lockdown has been very effective at its work, but for how long will people be on that lock and key?